Yes, everybody, how are we all doing? Hope we're good. Hope we are all good. Well, I can honestly say I was impressed with that performance. I enjoyed that, and it's just a shame we don't get to see it a lot because when we turn up like that, it were brilliant. And in 7 minutes, clocked it at 7 minutes, I'd seen more intensity and more urgency in that game tonight against Inter Milan, who were currently top of Serie A, 3 points in front of AC Milan, than what we did see against Nottingham Forest on Saturday night. And it's a joy to watch. It absolutely is brilliant to see when you see us playing like that, because, like I keep saying so many times, we've already got that defensive solidarity. We've already got it. We don't have to worry about it and think, oh, will our defence let us down? It might have a bad game every so often, but it's very rare it does. So when that handbrake goes off and the players just start expressing themselves and playing with freedom, it's fantastic to watch because how good we are in defence. And fair play to Mikel Arteta tonight. He did rest players. I'll put my hands up and say, well done to him. I thought he would have played Rice. I thought he would have played, all the other big players. I did. I thought he'd gone with Gabriel and Saliba. Maybe he could have played Kepa, but he rested a few players, and I'm glad he did. And it was good to see. And Jesus was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. He looked really sharp tonight. He looked like he just wanted to score every time. And Miles Lewis Skelly, a bit of a wobbly start, but he was solid. There were no shying out from him with his tackles. He looked really solid when he was tackling. Eze wasn't the best performance from him. I was hoping he was going to get 90 minutes. I really was, but I mean, obviously he got taken off. I just thought, just give him 90 minutes, let him turn this game around. Bring his confidence. Just bear with me a second, people. Just bear with me a second. Just make sure this is shared to X. Um, so yeah, I mean, like when I think about it, I'm really impressed. Gaza, without number 8 / Martin Odegaard, you get quick football. Absolutely, Gaza. Big up to my guy. Again, it's proven. You could tell a massive difference today, but some people are saying Declan Rice, which maybe they've got a point. We had Declan Rice. It looked like we were not passing sideways, and we were releasing the ball a lot quicker. That's maybe a fair point. So whoever's, I've seen people say it on Twitter, and yeah, I can agree. I can agree, but obviously Declan Rice is, well, to me, he's Arsenal's captain. So all in all, a really good performance. And you think about it, we've gone to Inter Milan, who are currently top of the Serie A, 3 points in front of AC Milan, and we've rested a lot of players. Excuse me. And we've gone there and won 3-1. And we had a lot of, I would say, at times, there were a lot of intensity, urgency where we were taking that game to them. So to me, that were a real good performance against a full strength Inter Milan team. It was. And I think, yeah, I mean, what a brilliant performance in a way. Rested a few players and we went to Inter Milan and beat them 3-1. So and I'm really impressed. And Victor Gyökeres, I mean, like AJ, I'm not, yeah, you know, obviously he came on as a sub. But if you look at his goal and look at it, look at the way Victor Gyökeres, not many times this season have you seen Victor Gyökeres lose a shoulder barge where he's, side to side with somebody. He's so strong. So that gives us a different attribute. Like when he's leaning into him, it's really good to see because it's not very often he loses out. And tonight, some strikers would have smashed that with the laces, just put the foot straight through it and drilled it. Victor Gyökeres knows that he's a damn good striker and he knows he can finish. His finishing ability hasn't just disappeared in one night, let me tell you. And he just side foots it, make sure he's got enough lift over it, sorry, over the ball, just to dink it over the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. He make sure he just obviously side foots it, gets enough lift on it, just to dip it over Jan Sommer, and a great goal. And it's good to see because Victor has scored, Jesus has scored two tonight. Now, who plays Sunday? I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be a tricky decision. I don't know who's gonna play on Sunday. Would you would you play Jesus? I don't know. I really don't know on that one. Because someone scores two goals tonight, which obviously Jesus has, his confidence is going to be booming. Now again, this is where Mikel Arteta has a tendency when a player's done something and the confidence is booming, just to not play him. He did it against with Madueke when he scored two against Club Brugge. One of his goals was a screamer. And I mentioned this so many times. We had Wolves that Saturday night. He didn't even play. So you just don't know with Mikel Arteta. And it's not trying to be negative, etc., because it was a brilliant performance tonight. And Mikel Arteta did really good resting some players. But he's already done it this season. Like I've just mentioned with Madueke, scoring two against Club Brugge and then didn't play against Wolves, where he actually needed and still does his first Premier League goal at season. And that'd have been a perfect time. Do you know what I mean? Like just to break that duck, as they say, kill that confidence and get on score sheet and get his first Premier League goal. So it it'll be interesting to see who he goes with Sunday. Now, again, you can imagine Mikel Arteta shocking us. Next minute, Kai Havertz plays against Man United, and that's just going from facts. What Arteta has done in past. It could be. It could be Kai Havertz. That's what it could be. Um, which will shock a lot of fans, and it will annoy. Now, I imagine Martin Odegaard will be back in team again against Man United, which I do not want to see it. I don't want to see him wear that captain's armband. I really don't. AJ the Mod, Gabriel Jesus, fair play. He wanted it tonight. He did, AJ. He really did, man. He was on it. It was very good. Um, AJ the Mod, Victor Yokere's amazing goal just shows what happened when you play to his strengths. Yeah, it was a proper good finish. Like I said, side foots it. A lot of strikers absolutely drill that and smash that. Um, and he just got enough lift on it and side footed it, obviously straight over Jan Sommer's head. Now, I wish when he got another chance and he was through, I wish he'd have scored that and all, because that would have been like, right, Jesus 2, Victor Gyökeres 2. Yeah, it's literally putting Kai Havertz down pecking order. Um, but in with numbers, it is good to see that we have actually got three strikers. Now, I only class we've got one out and out striker, and that's Gyökeres. I don't class Victor Kai Havertz and Gabi Jesus as out and out strikers, and Gabi Jesus has even mentioned that he don't class himself as a striker. But it is good to have those three. But they've got to chip in, man. And obviously, like AJ said, we have to play to his strengths sometimes. We've got to. We've got to. Um, where are we? AJ, Inter Milan should have had a penalty when Mosquera and Saliba both fouled Martinez. Yeah, that was a penalty, I think. Ryan, the Arsenal fan, it was a great game. It was Ryan Maguire. It really was, man. We were brilliant tonight, to be honest. Like I said, he rested a few players and go to Inter Milan, currently top of Serie A. We did. It was a good, really brilliant performance, you can say. Like I said, in 7 minutes, I'd seen more intensity and urgency in our play than what I've seen at all game against Nottingham Forest. AJ the mod, who'd have thought Odegaard wasn't playing? Right time to be negative. Zubamendi and Mikel Merino were both poor, in my opinion. Yeah, I can't. That can't be. That don't work. Moreno and Zubamendi. Like when you just think with those two, if you had that Adam Watton, or Elliot Anderson, someone who charges forward and breaks, the lines, and I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think we're going to sign a midfielder this window. I don't. Even when you're on Benso, which I thought that's strange because he's gone to Marseille. He's going to Marseille. I was shocked that he was even there. Um, and also, Van, I would like a 4-4-2, but it doesn't work. No, AJ the Trossard couldn't get into the game, but we move. Yep, absolutely, Ryan. If we can find a way that we can Jesus and Gyökeres on the pitch, we could have a crazy attack. Yeah, we've got to do something. We've got to find something. We can't keep having these, like tonight, we've played fantastic, but from what's been happening all season, you can see us being rubbish and lack of hardly any intensity and urgency in our play. No fast passing, no players getting to express themselves and play with freedom. I know every game's different. You have to take in consideration your opponent. Of course you do. But we need to see it. Like we need to see it back to back. Last time we seen that performance, like what we've seen last night, as I can say now. Last time we've seen something like that, we're against Aston Villa in second half. We need it every maybe 3 or 4 games, not every 8 games or so. I know it's not been 8 games since we played Aston Villa, but that's the pattern what's been forming kind of through the season. We are the Arsenal. We want to be smashing teams and not making hard work of it, and not playing Wolverhampton Wanderers, who at time were bottom at league and not won a game and making them look like a top 10 side. You want to get the job done early and bring players off and rest them. That will help massively if we're finishing teams off and then getting players rested. Like tonight, we rested players to start with, which is good. I'm thinking, don't bring Rice on, just don't bring him on. Don't bring Gabriel on neither. But he did. But we've got to do something with this attack. We can't keep seeing this attack like this. It's it's not it's not right how bad we are in attack at times, and our fluidity in our play. It's just not. It it don't look. There's no balance sometimes in this team apart from the defense, the defense, the defense, and we want to see sometimes even 60% attack. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's non-existent, man. A lot of games, it is just non-existent. You just think we just need to hope we're going to win this because our defence. 9 times out of 10, we either win or draw. But I like, I said it before Jesus was back. I did say a few months before Christmas, maybe a couple of months before Christmas, I'm keeping Jesus this season for the sake of getting 18 million for him, or whatever it could be. Probably be about 18 million. I'm keeping a Gabby fit if he stays fit, providing he stays fit. I'm keeping a Jesus because he's a goal threat. It can be a threat we can use him in the cups, and he sometimes looks like he's going to score. He's a striker what scores 20, 25 goals a season. Then sometimes he looks nothing like that. And tonight he looked hungry. He looked like fired up. He wanted to get on end of things. He was getting involved with the play. He was showing for the ball. So what do you do Sunday? Do you play him? That's the question. I'm not sure. Not sure. Because then I think if you went with Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, the one thing you will take away then is height. There'll be no height in our attack. But Gabriel Jesus is not a weakling. Like people seem to forget, he's not. He can hold himself up. He's not like he gets pushed off like Martin Odegaard. He is quite strong on the ball, and sometimes that happens in attack. Suarez, Sterling, Sturridge, no height there, but the way they integrated, all time crossing over. We need to see more of that. We need to see more. Like we could have a perfect three with those players I just mentioned with hardly any height, and then sometimes we can go a different dimension and bring the height in with Victor Gyökeres or Kai Havertz. I hope this is why I say I wish Arteta and Arsenal would bring in attacking slash striker coach just to help them, man, just to help them. to get those attackers moving, to get them like integrating with people, interchanging it and just feeding off each other and reading each other's game. We're not seeing that, or sometimes we might see it every, like I keep saying, every 8 games. So all in all, another brilliant Champions League performance, really was. And Man City, oh my God, fucking hell, wow. I've said this tonight on my Twitter. Pep is not someone who will stick around. If a player don't want to play for the club, he will go. He will let them go. Look at he's let them go all of it years. Edison, De Bruyne, Mahrez, um, Gundogan, Alvarez. If they want to go or the money's right, they go. Oscar Bob's now going to Fulham. But I've said this tonight on my Twitter. Pep also, as an individual, he's not someone will like he's even came out and says, if my time's done and it's not working for the club no more, he's someone who'll put his hands up and gladly say, I've done everything I can. I'm an absolute, which he's not going to say it himself, but he's an absolute legend of the Premier League, a legend for Man City. He's won everything. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if he walks. If if they go out the title race and they fall a lot of points behind us. Let's say we get a 10-point gap on them. They've gone out to Carabao Cup. Champions League is they're out. Then only hope is FA Cup. Pep might just say, I'm going," and I do believe that Enrique will be the next Man City manager. I've just got a feeling there were teammates at Barcelona. Enrique's won everything at PSG. He's won the league. He's won the domestic cup. I can't remember what it's called, like Copa del Rey in La Liga in Spanish league. He's won the Champions League, which PSG owners ask whoever's been taking over recently, well, like in the last few years, winners the Champions League. He's done it. There's nothing there for him, no more to win. So I do believe that Enrique's next destination is going to be in the Premier League, and I could only see Man City. I just think he's definitely going to pick Man City. Pep's probably even talked about it. Would you be interested in taking over? Because they're going to be mates. They were mates at Barcelona as players. So I couldn't believe what I was seeing tonight, to be honest. I could not believe what I was seeing. Man City were getting ripped to shreds by Norwegian side Bodo Glimt. Um, Obviously, it's an artificial pitch, but you know, I just couldn't believe it. Rodri played as well. Rodri and Reinders started, and I just thought the defense must be so bad. But he went with Ryan Ain't Nori as right back tonight, and Nick O'Reilly instead of playing um, left back. I think he played in midfield. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. And I just thought that was weird from Pep. But Pep's going to be able to do things like this, mix and match and play players out because he's got trophies to back him up in the bank. He's won the lot. So if he wants to experiment, people can't say, "Oh, what you're a shit manager," because he's been there and done it and won trophies. Now, when Arteta does it, it's going to be different because we're going to say you've not got over the line ever. So why would you do this? Why would you play Kai Havertz, in midfield 2 or 3 seasons ago? So that's just obviously that I'm just saying an example. So yeah, tonight why is Pep doing that? But he's got to have it line. He's got loads of credit in bank, so he can do. But it'd be interesting to see what Man City fans think. Do you think you're running into trouble, even though you are in all 4 competitions still? So I'm going to read everyone's comment a little bit more. Um, Please smash up the likes and subscribe as well. Hope everybody's good. I'm happy with that performance. I really am, and I'm ideally want more to be rested, but Arteta did good in resting players. And it was good to see. Really good performance. But now I'm thinking United Sunday, what they're going to bring. Either way, Arsenal's defence can handle any single football team in the world. That's how good our defence is. Yes, I know. Like people say, well, we do keep conceding. We're letting that odd goal in more often. But I have no I don't think, oh, that team's going to score 3 past us. it, I just don't think like that with this defence. I really don't, especially with Gabriel Sleeve. Sometimes I look at them and I think they make defending look easy. Trossard couldn't get into the game. Yeah, absolutely. We move. Ryan, if we can find a way, seen that one. AJ, Ryan, 4-4-2 for Gabriel Jesus, Victor Gyökeres would work well, and I really want it Sunday. Yeah, I wish AJ, mate. I wish, but it's just Arteta. He won't change that 4-3-3. I don't even like looking at it on the grid when it shows you like on telly or whatever. I hate that 4-4. It just looks like you've got less players on pitch. For some reason, I just don't like that 4-3-3. And AJ, the only thing that midfield might get ran through, yeah. Because I think like Man United, like they're going to get a lot. They've got confidence. So Carrick's there, Kobe Maino's back in team, Martinez is back in. You know what I mean? They've and Bemo's back, Cunha's back, Ahmed's back from African. Obviously, Ahmed's been at African nations, and Bemo's been back at African nations. So United are really on an eye. I'm sure they will be. Like I said, did look fantastic against Man City. Absolutely quality, ripped them to shreds at time. AJ, Lamar, Ryan, if Arteta doesn't want to play 4-4-2 simple play, Gabriel Jesus left winger, Victor Crez 9, I'd have a bash at that, AJ. Jesus left wing, because he will bring some magic and he will cut in and he will when sometimes when he's got ball, like you just mentioned, he will cut in and he will pull the trigger. He's very fast with his feet, and if he picks a ball up, he will go. He will go, and he'll be a worker. Which, as a winger, I've always been brought up with. A winger's most percentage of play is attack, 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 and contribute to goals. But obviously, Arteta wants more defensive side in a way. So, and I know Gabriel Jesus will help back. He will. He is a worker. Um, Donald Zarump, big up to my guy. Well, start Jesus for energetic start and let Gyökeres run Havoc in the later stage of the game, as I was reducing our chance to concede late game because we don't concede if Victor keeps that back busy. That's a good point. Yeah. Get Gabby up front, run them ragged, cause them problems, take all the energy, and then just give Victor Gyökeres the last 20-25 minute, and he will hold him off. He will hold him off. By that time, a lot of United players could be really tired. Although, although the energy, what I seen from Man United against Man City, they did not stop. They did. Ryan, if we played MLS Rice as the two in the 4-4-2, I I think MLS tonight, it was wobbly at the start. I will say that. But after that, he was fierce and his slide tackles were like, I'm fucking getting that ball, pal, and I'm taking it off you. There were no shying out from him. There were no bottling it with his tackles. He was on it and he wanted to win that ball back. Ryan, AJ, Zubi, and Rice midfield. Ryan, Eze on the left, or Trossard. Well, I don't think Eze is going to be playing on Sunday, to be honest. I really don't. That was one thing what bugged me. I just thought, I'll admit, Eze didn't play the best. It's, again, his confidence might be low. And I don't want to keep saying that because, you're a pro. You should be able to deal with being on bench, etc. But I just thought, give him 90 minutes. He might end up scoring a goal in the last few minutes, and his confidence is going to sky high. But Arteta took him off. I was a bit annoyed about that. I thought, give him 90 minutes. Why not let him play 90 minutes? Give him a full game. But he didn't. So that's a bit of an annoyance. AJ Ryan, I stand by my opinion. Zubimendi is not good enough. Donald, is it just me or we play better without Odegaard? Oh, it's not just you, Donald. 100%, mate. Like I've said at start of chat, in 7 minutes, I'm looking and thinking we've shown more intensity and urgency in just 7 minutes than what we did all game against Nottingham Forest. Guess who wasn't playing tonight? The weakest captain in football, which we all know, Martin Odegaard. Um, AJ Donald, we play far better without Odegaard. Our best run proved that. Absolutely, AJ. Absolutely, man. Right, AJ, respectively, Zubi makes this team 10 times better. If you put Rice as the 6 and Zubi as the 8, it would be much better. AJ Donald, Bayern Munich, Spurs, Atletico Madrid, all as a in 10. Yep, absolutely. Um, yeah, let Eze get like play him again also, and he will start purring, man. I'm telling you. AJ Ryan, respectfully, completely disagree. He did nothing tonight. I would trade him for Adam Watson in a heartbeat. AJ Mikel Moreno can never play 8 again. Only backup 9. Only simple as that. Yeah, Mikel Moreno, as I call him, is our lucky weapon. He's got a fantastic finish, and he is a lucky weapon. That's not a 9. He's not a 10. He's not a left wing. He's not a right wing. He's just a lucky weapon, like what Fellaini was at Everton and Man United. That's how I see him. Ryan Zuba is a temp setter, but doesn't have the energy or pace to track back, and that could be a problem. So we hope Declan Rice don't get injured because that will be. I think it's going to be a problem if that happens. Terry Tibbs, how are you, my guy? Good to see you. You'll have top gunners gassing up Gyökeres old up last week. You were giving him a crap. Now you celebrate him scoring when Jesus doesn't score. Don't criticise him. I've never criticised Victor Gyökeres. Absolutely never. I've not criticised Victor Gyökeres once. Not on my channel, and everyone knows that. Wow, that's never happened. Back and back and back and back. Let me know if it. Just let someone let me know if you can. Right, where are we, man? Do apologise about people. That's never happened. Um, don't know where we are, man. Um, oh man, there's a lot of comments here. Do apologise on this. Right, yeah, you'll have Top Gooners gassing up your craze all up last week. Um, seen that from Terry. Ryan. Terry, I criticise your craze a lot, but I believe in him. Ryan, I'm so happy Rice got carded. AJ, Ryan, respectfully, he can't do that well enough. I have seen enough. I watch him alone for 10 minutes, either wrong by. Terry Tibbs, Ryan, also fan. He'll come right. He needs quick ball played to him and he will score goals. Odegaard and Saka hold the ball for too long. Saka did it again tonight, holding that ball. Need to release it quick, making the runs right. I do apologise, people. I'm going to have to go for everyone's comment. AJ, right now we have locked into top two in the Champions League, meaning we have second leagues at home. Yep, absolutely. Terry Tibbs, Jesus, Grot, and Saka front three. Carrez was never an aerial threat. Um, AJ, Terry Tibbs, facts. That's the way forward. Front three. Well, Gabriel Jesus is on form. Use it. Absolutely. Jack also I ranked a lot better tonight. Funny that we played better without Odegaard. We played absolutely actually played pretty fluid football tonight. We did. I'm not being rude, people, but I'm not going to probably go through everyone's full comment because I've got a lot to catch up on. I think here, Ryan City were dog shit. They were absolute dire. Even Rodri were rubbish, man. It might not be the same again. He's had a huge injury, and he had it last season as well. Ryan Rodri was shit. Terry Tibbs, AJ he wants a new deal. Let him earn it. Gavin L, big up Rich, big up everybody in the chat as well. Do apologise for that. Hope everybody's good as well. Gavin L, big up Rich, big up to Gavin. Terry Tibbs City look absolute dusted. Terry, they did, mate. They were dog shit, man. They were dire. Um, Ryan, Newcastle might be in the final. That could happen. Not, I don't know. I'm not. I don't. I think City will take care of that. Big up to you, my guy Abdul. Big up Rich and the chat. Big up to you, Abs. Good to see you, brother AJ. Big up Gavin L. Donald's Rump. I hope Wolves can hold City. I think Wolves are going to get a pounding. I think City will bladder them on Saturday. I think they will. AJ the Mod Terry Tibbs facts make him earn that money. AJ, if Wolves somehow do us a favour, Arteta will play for a draw against Man United. Yeah, that's what you can see, man. That's the thing. You think Wolves have ordered City, and then we go and piss it up against United because Arteta goes way too defensively. Um, but I don't. I'm going to say 100%, 110% confident Man City are taking care of Wolves Saturday afternoon, and it might be at least three. Ryan, it feels like a coming of age moment for us. What do you think, guys? And AJ, 5 likes. Thank you very much, AJ. Lynch, come on, you Gunners. Big up to you. Hope you are well. Good to see you in the chat, AJ. Big up Lynch every time. Gavin, big up Lynch. AJ, the mod. Ultimately, we must play some way again. Some way again against Manchester United. Absolutely. Gavin out. AJ, salute. Lynch, come on, you Gunners. Gavin L. Lynch, come on, you Gunners. Rick, where did you go, Rich? Um, I'm fading, man. Screen's going. Next minute, gone. That's never happened. Never happened before. Link, where did Rich go? I'm right here, guys. I'm right here. Camera probably died. Internet connection. Internet connection. Um, Lawrence Emmanuel. Big up to you, my guy. The legends in the house. Brilliant performance tonight, but one has to question how can Arteta outclassed one of the top managers in Europe yet struggle to overcome a side managed by Sean Dyche? Very good point. Very good point. And this is it, man. This is it. He outclassed Simone, Atletico Madrid, um, Bayern. I mean, you can't really call Company yet one of the top managers in Europe yet. I mean, he's doing okay. but Simone and tonight, um, Chievo, we're into Milan. Um, so I just don't get like it's weird, isn't it? Like what it's hard to fathom, man. It's hard to grasp because you think he does things Arteta and you think that's really good. But then he'll do something and you think, what the hell have you done, man? What have you done? Like on Sunday, you can see Odegaard going straight back into team. So everyone's mood, majority of the fans who's got good standards, is up here. And then Odegaard will probably play on Sunday. Hopefully, if he does, he'll have a good game. Of course, we want that to happen. But he turns out and puts another shit performance in. So then you're just thinking, it's just never ending. Like 1 minute we're up here as fans, and say we draw or whatever, and it's a shit performance, and Odegaard is crap. You think, why keep doing this? Why keep doing it? So it is weird because there's some fantastic things like what we see from Arsenal, and obviously Arteta is involved in it a little bit. He is, um, and tonight he rested some players, and I'm glad because I did think, just basing on what Arteta's like and has done in the past, he were going to play Declan Rice tonight from start. He were going to play Gabriel and Saliba from start, and he didn't. And I'm glad because we've got a squad there. We keep getting told we've got the best squad, so we should be equipped for every single competition, every suspension, every injury. We should be fully equipped, and that squad is it's brilliant to see. Like when you're thinking Declan Rice coming off, you know, Martinelli's coming on. They're not Martinelli's not obviously world class, but we have got so much strength. It's like Jesus coming off, Victor Gyökeres coming on. I mean, we must win that Premier League or Champions League this season. We've got to. We've got to. It. There's no excuses. There's nothing what anyone can say no more. People are not going to listen to it. People are not going to want to hear it. It is now or never. I'm afraid it really is now or never. And I say that because Liverpool will probably next year they'll have Ekatike and Isaac. Obviously, Salah will probably go, so they might be, a different team. And Man United look like they're creeping. And depending what happens in summer, I'm not saying they're going to win league next season, but they could be even stronger. Chelsea might keep pushing, and as I've mentioned already, Man City, if Pep walks or they part ways with him or whatever, I believe Luis Enrique will be the next Man City manager. So everybody who's in chat, I hope you're all good. I hope you're well. What we can say tonight is a brilliant performance by Arsenal. Fantastic. Even at 7 minutes, I looked and I thought, wow, well, I've seen more intensity and urgency 7 minutes than what I did in that old game against Forest. And it's brilliant when we do it. And this is what we want to see. We want to see that intensity, urgency. And I'm not saying every game. Like you can't turn out 3-0s, 4-0s, 5-0s nearly every game. You can't. Football has changed a little bit. It's a lot more harder. Um, yes, it's still a round ball, etc. You still do the same thing, but it has changed a bit. But we're just asking for a bit more of performances like we've seen tonight, like we've seen against Aston Villa second half. Inter Milan, sorry, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, Atletico Madrid. We just want to see it more. We don't we don't want to be watching Arsenal. I know we won and it's 3 points, it is. We don't want to be watching Arsenal and looking and thinking, fucking hell. We're making a Wolverhampton Wanderers team who'd not won a game all season at the time look like a top 10 side. I want to see Arsenal blasting teams and blowing teams away like that, like literally destroying them, like we used to in the 97, 98, the Invincible era. I want to see us like having Wolves in our own backyard at Emirates and finishing game in 20, 25 minutes. Bang, done. Bang, 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 bang. See ya. Move on to the next game, rest some players. But we're just not seeing it enough. But it's there. That's the frustrating thing. It is there. Our defensive display happens nearly every game, but that seeing players playing with freedom and expressing themselves, and showing a lot of intensity, a lot of urgency, fast passing, we don't see it enough. And only because of our brilliant defence, world class defence, we end up still either just winning a game or drawing. So it'd be good if we could see it more with that fast flowing, attacking intensity, urgency, and just battering teams and just putting a stamp down and saying, we're fucking here. We are the Arsenal. Job done. 25-minute. Next game. Take two or three players off in second half. I wish we'd see it more instead of making hard work against Wolves, who, like I say, at time had not even won a game all season. Sham Sham, a mix of happy and sad win over. A mix of happy and sad win over Inter and sad to have draw with Nottingham. Yeah, absolutely, Sham Sham. Welcome to the chat. That's it. You look at it and think tonight, brilliant performance against Forest, rubbish, and against Liverpool, it first off we were bad, we were rubbish, but in the second half against Liverpool, that is one of the worst performances I've seen Arsenal play for a very, very long time. We was absolutely diabolical. Like Liverpool in that second half owned us. They were passing the ball around us, and it looked like we were away. It looked like we're at Anfield. They were literally just passing the ball around as if to say, we're current champions. We are the champions at the moment, and we're top at league again. And you're chasing us again, Arsenal. You look 10 points behind us because they were just passing it round us and like as if to say, "Come and get it then, come and get it then." And we didn't lay a glove on them. We didn't do anything. So it is annoying. It is annoying because I do believe, and people might not like this, if we'd had a different manager, I do think we would have been more in front now in the league. I really do. I think like against Forest, a different manager would have gone out there in that second half and he would have gone, right, I'm playing two up front even for 20 minutes and I'm going to cause Morello and Milinkovic massive, massive problems. Against Liverpool, I think they'd have done the same. And it's proven because, when we played Chelsea, they had 10 men. They were there for the taking. That's another 3 points we just didn't take. A different manager to me would have gone out there in that second half and made sure they come in away out to Stamford Bridge with a full 3 points. Nothing else is acceptable. They would have beat Chelsea because they would have just gone right. We've got an extra man. We're owning this. We're in charge, and we made Chelsea look like they were better than us a lot of sorry, most part of the game. We made Chelsea look better. But I believe a different manager would have just gone right. Second half, we're going to annihilate them. We're going to play two up front and we're going to drag them everywhere. And we're going to literally make them feel like they've got 9 men. But he just don't do it. He just don't. Arteta just don't. He don't do things like that. And that's where I get top at league, yeah, top at Champions League, semi-final at the Carabao Cup, still obviously in FA Cup. I'm loving it, and I think it's brilliant. And there's a. I'm not saying we will, but we've got a chance to do quadruple. I'm not saying we will. I don't think ever. No one will ever do it. Um, but I just wish sometimes Arteta would use that switch, that ruthlessness at times, because people can say, "Well, look where we are. We're top. Yeah, we're only borrowing it a minute. We're not. We might not finish top at league. We might not win the Carabao Cup, but we might. Um, but I just think at times, go and take that game to teams, man. Lay the law down. Absolutely annihilate them because when that switch goes, you see an unstoppable Arsenal. When we take the game to teams, no one can hardly live with us, and we've got no worries going the other way in defence because we're that freaking good. Our defence is brilliant, and I always do that because people know I will, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. Arteta's built that defence. So against Man United, um, guessing game, I think really. What would you do? I mean, it's become a bit of an headache and a good headache. Would you go with Victor Gyökeres for a bit of height, a bit of power? We was going to hold. Um, I don't know who it'll be, Lenny Yoro, Martinez, Maguire, or do you go for sorry Gabriel Jesus, who's going to be a bit unpredictable, could produce a little bit of magic, but then if you think about it, he might struggle with with Yoro or whatever it's going to be. Harry Maguire, Martinez, they could bully him, but I don't think they'll bully Victor Gyökeres. So I'm not sure. I don't know who it's going to be. Will he play Kai Havertz? Is that will he play him? It could be Kai Havertz. Who knows? And I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know. Would you go Victor Gyökeres, Gabriel Jesus? I'm not sure on this one. I'm not sure, but I bet you now. I bet you now. Martin Odegaard's in that team. Joe's gonna go in. Big up Rich. Big up Jim McGuire. Well, big up Rich. Big game Sunday. Didn't see game, but heard on League. Gonna watch along that. That Gyökeres and Jesus did well. But Saka and Zubimendi done poor. Saka looked sharp at times. He did. He got he got by his man, but there's something still not right with Saka, and it's probably what Lee Gunners mentioned since he's had his injury. I think that's where it's from. He's not as good as he used to be. He's not consistent enough. And tonight he could have passed it to Victor Gyökeres. He's a bit ball greedy, and I don't. We're professional footballers. I don't really ever. I haven't said that since I was a kid, but Saka is a bit ball greedy at times. Joe's going to go in. Some games Gyökeres gets the ball. Some games he doesn't. That's the thing. Yeah. And listen, that goal tonight, where I said at start at stream, in that position when it's just there for him, a lot of strikers or whatever position it is are going to lace that, are going to absolutely rifle it, smash it, and it could go way over or wide. And Victor Gyökeres literally side foots it, which is a risk. It is a risk because you think, well, there's not. You're gonna have to make sure you bring some power to that. And Jan Sommer, who's a bloody good goalkeeper, everybody knows that. But it's the way Victor Gyökeres side-footed it and made sure he got his foot to bring the height, and it were a quality finish. It shows what he's got, man. He's not. This guy is not a shit striker. I'm telling you now, he's not a shit striker. He's not gone shit overnight. He's Victor Gyökeres has not become a shit striker overnight. That's something I'm not gonna. He hasn't. I have seen Victor Gyökeres over years for Sporting Lisbon. As people know, I used to watch football in all leagues, and I have watched the Premier League, which obviously what is called the Portuguese league. I have watched it. People know I've watched the Swedish league with Malmo, the Swiss league with Servette, Young Boys, Basel. I know my teams. I don't. There's a lot now I don't remember, but I used to watch football all over the world for about 4 years, non-stop. Um, because I were better. I used to bet all the time. Um, but 2 year in April, the 8th, I haven't touched any single bet for 2 year in April, and I never will, because your first win is one step closer to losing everything, and that is what I say about betting. Um, so of course I've watched Victor Gyökeres. Kept an eye on him at Coventry few times. Like I said, I watched him in Premier League, which is the Portuguese league. I've seen his goals, and people say, "Oh, it's a farmers league." I don't buy that because why do people keep buying players from Paris Saint-Germain? Why do people sign players from the Portuguese league? It's There's footballers in every league what are brilliant, what can play in every league, and I do believe Victor Gyökeres is a fantastic striker. He just needs to find his feet. He needs to get, you know, maybe up to speed a little bit because the physicality, no problem. Again tonight, shoulder barging him off at ball. It's very rare he loses it. Got a good physique, and we need to play to his strengths a little bit. And I do believe in a Man City team, he would have probably been on about maybe 12 Premier League goals by now because Pep would have worked with him. He would have. So I like Victor Gyökeres, I'm happy we signed him. My ideal signing was Isaac, of course it was. Um, but that never happened. So I just think it were a good finish. And again, like I said, I have played football when I was younger and I was a striker. And I know in that position, a lot of people, or any other position where Victor has found himself in, would have hammered that and laced it and smashed it. But he thought, no, I'm going to go at side foot. I'm going to go straight over Jan Sommer with the side foot. So with that, you've got to make sure you generate power, or it's just going to look shit. Jan Sommer's just going to go, thank you, and just collect that ball. So he generated the power and got the right height on it. That's not easy. It's not easy. It showed his class tonight, and against Leeds, where he's running that byline, rugs them off as if to say, one thing, what's happening here? I'm putting that ball it back at net. And Vic Gyökeres did. And it's like, let's go again. Does his celebration. We go. We move. And that's what he is. He's got that nasty, ruthless. And if that switch goes, he could go on a spree. But Arteta has got to help him. He's his manager, and he must help him and work with him. Do you trust Arteta? No, I don't, and probably most people in the chat don't. Um, just gonna go to some game. Yeah, I've seen that one. So I hope everybody's good and well. I do apologise about that. I'm like, what? I've never lost my connection. I've got really good connection normally. Joe's going to go in. He's good at scoring goals. Goals, Gyökeres. None of our strikers are technical, but he's good at scoring. Victor Gyökeres is a powerhouse. I'm telling you now, like I said, there's not many times when he's running it with ball and someone's shoulder to shoulder with him. It's not many times he loses it. He's got a lot of strength in him. And again, just echoing it again, brilliant finish tonight. Fantastic finish. But then after that, he kind of opens up, makes a lot of space for himself, and he absolutely whacked the ball, and it probably went other side of Italy. It went so over the bar, it was unreal. So I do think sometimes like he's trying to, can I like maybe trying a little bit too much, like desperate to keep scoring goals for Arsenal. It'll happen. It'll happen. I predicted at the start of the season he'll score 20 Premier League goals this season. I'm going to be wrong. You know, as everyone knows, I always put my hands up when I get things wrong. I am going to be wrong. He ain't scoring 20 Premier League goals. I just don't see how that would be possible now. Um, but if he can get if he can reach maybe 16 in all competitions, that's not my standards. I personally, I think he should be getting at least 22 Premier League goals. But if he can end up turning it around now, after going a long time without scoring, had the injury, don't forget as well. If he can reach 16 in all competitions, it's not the best, but it's better than what it probably. I mean, yes, but let's just say if he finishes on 12 Premier League goals and then four in other competitions, then it's a bit of a turnaround. But he's got to start going on a run. Like we don't want to see him score tonight and then Arteta dropping him and not playing him again. He needs to be like playing. He needs to be constantly playing. He needs to bring that consistency. When a striker scores at Arsenal now, they need to be playing, and you can say that about Jesus, because we're not seeing it enough. So if a striker's scoring at Arsenal, freaking play him. Keep playing them. Keep breeding that confidence into them, because that's what a striker lives off, confidence. I remember when I played when I was younger, and sometimes I don't bring it up all the time. But as everyone knows in the chat, I did score 79 goals in one season. I was the top scorer in my team every single season. But I used to absolutely hate it when I did not score. And for me, it was maybe a couple of games at the most. I can't remember ever going past two games, but I used to hate it. I used to come home and I would be thinking, how have I not scored today? I'd get the ball, I'd be outside on the street, and I'd be finding like a, a street name, what's got obviously the sign and the two um, poles at the side of it. and I'd be kicking ball through it. I'd be working on things like myself, like getting the ball, dribbling with it, and shooting it at an edge or something like that. What's got a target there? I'd be shooting it, thinking, how have I not scored for 2 games? Why have I not scored for 2 games? And I worked on it, and I'd be shooting it through the edge. I'd be doing kick ups, practicing the control. I'd be kicking the ball and sprinting on my own. This is what I on my own, and then run back, pick the ball, sprint to the ball, then pick the ball up and run and dribble and dribble and dribble and dribble and do it from a short distance and then a longish distance, then even a longer distance. I'd be kicking the ball up in the air and then letting the ball come to my feet and Cruyff turning it, spinning, thinking I'm a spinning too slow, where I've got my back to goal, spin and go and run and then shoot. I'd be trying all sorts. But once I scored again, like with Victor Gyokeres, when any other striker, a striker lives off confidence. Once I hit that net, bang, 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 bang. I think it were. I remember not scoring for 2 games, and then we had a game not very good team who we played. Like I said, I had Charleston Norwich City, and I did play for the best team, my local team in my county. We was the best team. Um, and after 2 games, we're not scoring. I thought I've got to score today. These are not that good. And I scored, and it would just bang, 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 and I scored 6 goals that day. And I know it's obviously a younger age, of course it is, but I'm just saying, a striker lives off confidence. So the last thing Victor Gyökeres wants to do now is sit on that bench and not play. He needs to be playing. He needs to be bringing that confidence, and he needs to know then, I am who I am. I am a striker, Arsenal Football Club, and I found my feet. He needs to find his feet, hopefully within the next month or so. You don't want to be going through this season. Well, I've scored, then I've missed 6 or 7 games and not scored again. And we need our strikers to be firing because we're not going to have Gabriel and Saliba forever. And I'll move on to that, and I'm not going to stay on too much long as well. William Saliba is basically making his noise heard. If we don't win trophies, he's not very happy. He's a lot of, like Declan Rice has mentioned it. So you can forget, like, oh well, they're here for life, they're here for life, they're here for. William Saliba has made it clear. I call Gabriel and Saliba the best centre back pairing in world football, and they are. But even he's come out and said recently, he said him and Gabriel are the best. But if we don't win anything, then how are they the best? And you can bring a good argument to that. How are they the best if they haven't won anything? And that's from Saliba. That's not from me. That is from Saliba's own words. He said him and Gabriel are the best, but if they don't win anything, they're going to go down as not the best, and they won't be remembered as much. So what I'm saying is, we need our strikers now to start firing. We need to find a striker at Arsenal Football Club for the next 2 or 3 years who's firing and scoring, because we're not going to have Gabriel and Saliba forever. And if we go trophyless this season, there's a possibility, and I mean that, even thinking about that, what position we're in now for Arsenal to go trophyless would be so. It just seems crazy to even think of it, but it could happen. But what I'm saying is, if we go trophyless, forget Gabriel Saliba signing contract. One of them might go because Saliba has already said that he wants trophies. He wants to win trophies, and they're not going to stick around forever because they want trophies. And you know, a lot of these new football fans, or these fans what just won't say anything bad about Arteta, seem to think every player what signs a contract at Arsenal, they're here for life. They're staying for the next 5, 6 years. Well, that's not the case, and it don't work like that in football, and it certainly don't work like that in this day and age, with how much pressure there is from social media. Oh, you're good, but if you don't win trophies, you're not remembered, and that's facts. It's factually correct. Like, William Saliba and Gabriel want to win trophies. Declan Rice wants to win trophies. Why should they, as an individual, stay at a club if they're not winning anything? And right now, we're not. This year, there's a chance we could win that treble because how good our defence is. But there's also another chance we could go trophyless yet again because we might be playing fantastic in that game defensively, may I add. Or, this could be any game I'm on about. We could be playing brilliant defensively and then bang, last minute, we end up losing. And that's what happens. So this is why I keep saying I wish we could find more balance instead of just seeing it every 8 games where it's like, oh, we've put a Aston Villa second half performance in, or a Bayern Munich, or a Tottenham, or a Inter Milan. I want to see it more. I want to see like every 4 games where we crush teams and absolutely batter them, get the job done, take players off, rest players, not making hard work against like teams like Wolves and that. We shouldn't be doing that. We should not be doing that. So everything's brilliant at the moment at Arsenal. It literally is brilliant, the position we're in. But I am someone what will always look at the bigger picture, and I always say, always expect the unexpected, the good, the bad, the sad, the happy in anything, in life, no matter what. And I just look now and I think we're in a fantastic position. We've got all, we are holding things. We're top of the league, top of the Champions League, quarter-final, semi-final Carabao Cup, and obviously it's still in early stages of FA Cup. But you have to look and think it might not end up being how we want it to be. Do I think we'll take care of Chelsea at Emirates? Yeah, because our defence. Do I think we can win the league? Yeah, because our defence. Do I think we can go all the way in the Champions League? Yeah, because our defence. FA Cup? Yes, because our defence. Now, if people reverse that and, well, obviously flip that, sorry, and say, can we win the Carabao Cup regarding our strikers? Will they be on form? Will we take the teams to the sword? We'll take the team to the sword and get the job done and be ruthless with him. I have zero confidence. Could we do that? Obviously, Carabao Cup. I have zero confidence. I don't. I'm not because I don't see it enough. Like tonight, I seen that. I see that performance. So like kind of think if we play like that, nobody can handle us because how good we are in defence. And when that switch goes, what we can do. Going to Inter Milan, who's currently top of Serie A, 3 points in front of AC Milan, and we've rested a few players. And literally, in first 7 minutes, we were just like, wow, we absolutely took them to cleaners. We were all over them. So I just hope we can bring a bit more balance. And if we go and win the Premier League and or whatever, other trophies, and we don't see the balance, then fair play. We've done it, and it's been a different way. It's been boring a lot of times, but we've won it. We've won trophies. But if we don't win the Premier League or the Champions League, there's going to be massive questions asked because fans are going to say this football's boring most of the time. Yes, we turn up maybe every 8 games and give teams a pounding, just batter them. But that's like every, let's say, 7 or 8 games. And we've not won a major trophy again. So people keep saying, oh, we're not far off now from, we're nearly on touchline. But you also have to look as well and think it could potentially go, excuse me, wrong, really wrong. If we go out of Carabao Cup because we don't turn up against Chelsea and they're on it and they think right, we need to win a trophy, then already the players' confidence is going to be dropped. They're going to think, wow, do you know what I mean? Like it's going to rock us. So it's all right, people, and it's always these typical fans what are on payroll and oh, let's always be positive. Everything's positive. How about start looking at the reality of it and thinking things might go wrong? And if people don't live like that, then you'll probably, I don't know, some people what think, oh, how did that happen? Why's that happened to me? I always think of the unexpected, that things can go bad and things can, the good, the bad, the sad, the happy. I always do that. So sometimes when things happen, I'm like, I'm not that shocked. I'm not that shocked against Liverpool, which I'm not even talking about even live things here at a minute, but I'm talking about football against Liverpool. I wasn't shocked with that performance we put against we displayed in the second half because I've already seen it. I've seen it against Wolves. You know what I mean? I wasn't shocked that we looked absolute diabolical against Liverpool second half. Tonight against Inter Milan, when we turned up and in the first 7 minutes we looked absolutely fantastic. I wasn't shocked. I was happy, very happy, because I know this is what my team, who I have supported 34 years, are freaking capable of. We are capable of taking teams now to the cleaners, and I mean anybody. Anybody. We are literally capable of battering anybody. When that switch goes and going the other way, we've got no problem holding teams off and defending and staying compact and staying organised. Yes, we might lose a daft goal. The concentration might drop, which it has done over, against the Wolves, the Palace. But this is what I'm saying. This could be a phenomenal team if we just find a little bit more balance. And I'm not a football manager. I'm not. Like I said, I have played striker at a young age. I've played football at top level at Charleston Norwich City. So I have been in and around football. Some people know a lot more football than me, a lot more. But I'm just saying, I do believe there's more this team could show. I really do. When you think of the attacking options we've got on bench and that, it's like, man, it's just crazy. We've got so much squad depth, but it just goes back to, like I said, when we played Aston Villa in the second half and we came out and it were like, fucking hell, this is amazing. This is just another a Bayern Munich performance, a Tottenham performance, an Atletico Madrid performance. We were quality. But then we went to Bournemouth the following Saturday and we were shit to what we'd just played at the Emirates against Aston Villa, who in that time was the most informed team in the Premier League, may I add. And I'm not daft. You can't just turn up and play the exact same game plan against every team. It just don't work like that. But you just look and think, how have we just done this to Aston Villa in the second half and not even take anything really against Bournemouth? And at time Bournemouth, I think they only lost one at home. I can't remember. They were in form at home, but not in form away. They were on a bit of a bad run, and at times Bournemouth made us look rubbish. And I just kept thinking, how can we be doing this? Why can't we just take that massive confidence from absolutely annihilating Aston Villa in that second half, going to Bournemouth, getting the job done, absolutely throttling them, 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Let's get two up. Let's take the game to them. Let's be fucking ruthless. Let's rest players. We move on to the next game. I don't see that from this club enough. And like I said, if we go on and win the Premier League and the Champions League, because that's the two, it's either them. We have to win the Premier League or Champions League. An FA Cup and a Carabao Cup is not acceptable. Brilliant day out at Wembley, two trophies, but it will just be proven that this manager just can't get this team over the line with a major trophy. But if we go and win it, then you look back at these games and you think Wolves, Everton, Brentford, Liverpool at home, Liverpool away. But we did it. We got over the line. Now, it probably will be because of the defence, like I keep saying a millionth time. But if we don't win it, a lot of fans are going to be on Mikel Arteta's back, and there's going to be new people saying, "Out. We need a proven manager." Now, I'm not Mikel. I don't like him. I never wanted him at first place. Even when Unai Emery were taking over, there were talk of Arteta. I said no. But I'm someone what will say if Arsenal go and win that Champions League, Mikel Arteta deserves a statue outside the Emirates Stadium. And that's who I am as a person. I can be negative. I will criticise Arteta and Arsenal if they need criticising, and I will praise Arteta and Arsenal. That's how I am. But what I'm saying is, if he wins the Champions League, Arteta deserves a statue, and that's coming from someone who doesn't like him, because I just think things like Why would you go on live TV against PSG in the second leg with the female reporter and make something up, like lie literally, and say PSG bench and Enrique told you that we were the better team? They didn't say such thing. Enrique never mentioned that at all. And the PSG bench never said Arsenal were the better team in second leg. And the last time, obviously, that came about and Enrique heard about it, he literally said that the team what gave us problems last season was Liverpool and Aston Villa, not Arsenal. So I just don't like what he does. I don't like how he's like treated Ethan Wanyeri. A breakthrough season, 9 goals in a breakthrough season, and he's been given hardly any minutes this season. And I keep saying it, a breakthrough season, 9 freaking goals, and out of those 9, he scored in 3 different competitions. How has he not been getting minutes this season? Every time he gets on that ball, he might not have defensive attributes. He's a young lad. He's going to be 19 in March. But he brings that creative spark, that energy, that intensity, that urgency. He's forward thinking. He causes so much problems. If Saka was injured now, I would be more than happy playing Ethan Wanyeri on that right wing. More than happy. More over Madueke any single day. Graham Payet, he has been great. He needs a statue. Well, he's not won anything yet, Graham, apart from his FA Cup. And if people want to count that, we being Arteta's Community Shields. But if he wins the Champions League, yeah, he deserves a statue. But like I've just been mentioning and saying things, it's all great at the moment where we are, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, semi-final Carabao Cup. But that's just where we are at the moment. That could all change, and it has done for so many years with Arsenal. Next minute, we're out of everything. I don't see that this year. I really don't, because how good our defence is. Like if someone said to me, "Could Arsenal win a quadruple this year?" Now, if any, no matter who you are, whatever team it is, I would always say no. You're just going to fall. You're going to have a bad day in one of the competitions, and it's not going to be a quadruple. But if someone said to me, "Would you actually say Arsenal could win a quadruple?" I'm going to say yes, and there's a reason only: our defence. That's it. Because how good our defence. That's how confident I am with our defence. Anything else? No. Like I have. If people base it on like, can we take teams to the cleaners and and destroy teams more often than not and wipe the floor with them? So when it comes to attack, I have zero confidence Arsenal will win the league because of our attack. But in defence, I'm 100% confident we'll win the league because our defence. But we become an attack, no, and I shouldn't be doing that. Like over Arsenal years, this 97, 98, I'm like, we're good in defence, we're fantastic in midfield, up front takes care of itself. So if we go and win league, you know, it's just going to be because our great defence. That's how I see it. Not because our wingers are free scoring wingers and our strikers are reaching double figures in Premier League because they're not. So it could be a weird one, man. If we end up winning league or the Champions League, it could be just because our defence, which I think it will be if we do. May I add? So yeah, that's where I'm at, and it's a big game Sunday against Man United. I think we'll have enough. Um, Defensively. I think we will. But if they play like this against Man City, they will cause us problems, 100%. Please do smash up the likes, people, and subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Um, so overall tonight, in all, a brilliant performance. It was really good. You go to Inter Milan, even with a full strength team, and win 3-1. That's a damn good result, let me tell you. Like I said, the top at Serie A, 3 points in front of AC Milan, and we went there and rested players. Our squad, I tell you something, it is really really good to see. Like when you think Rice is coming on and stuff, and Arteta's done that. And Berta, may I add, especially in this window what we just had, he has. So I just think it was a great performance tonight. and it was balanced. It was balanced. There was the good defensive side of it, and the attack were there. But majority of the time this season, it's always about the defense, the defense, defense. Attack's non-existent. Attack were non-existent near enough against Forest. Shown a little bit. We had a few chances to Martinelli miss, obviously. Um, Against Liverpool, non-existent. Oh man away. So I just wish we had a bit more balance. Like if we've just done that to Inter Milan, surely we can be more confident in our play with the attacking side against Man United on Sunday. And I'll echo it again. Every game is different. You have to set up a little bit different. You have to look what they're doing. There's going to be more faster players with a different opponent. Sorry, of course there is. I'm not daft. That's but it just sometimes looks like we have a brilliant performance and then it's non-existent. There's not even no similarities a little bit to what we've just done the previous game. And Man United, they could be like they could just go on a 4 or 5 game run where they look absolutely class. So they'll be up for it. So let's just see. I don't want Odegaard to play. I really don't. But I've got a feeling he's going to play. I've got a feeling it's going to be a 4-3-3. Odegaard's going to play. Be interesting to see who plays up front. That will be interesting. So yeah, I am going to end this in a minute as well. Brennick 74. Big up to my guy. Big up to you, Brennick. Hope you're well, brother. Don't subscribe to Brennick people. Big up Rich and the chat. AJ 8 likes. Thank you very much, AJ. And I do apologise earlier on, people, that I was just like my screen is fading. I'm literally disappearing. Next minute, gone. Internet connection gone. And my internet connection is normally brilliant every day. Um, so I'm trying to think. Miles Lewis Skelly tonight. I've already said it. A bit of a wobbly start, but he showed a lot of solidness in his play. He was very firm in his tackles, as if to say, "I'm fucking winning that ball, and you're not taking that off me." He looked like he were hungry for it. A bit, like I said, a bit of a wobbly start, but he looked like, yeah, I'm not losing my England place, and that's the kind of guy he is. We've seen that, we have, and again, he's going to be 20 in September. Um, Apart from that, this is the first. Will add this, and I have said this already. It's the first transfer window I can remember in absolutely years where I'm not calling for a certain position to be addressed. Need that player, need that player, need that player, need that player. It was left wing in summer, but now I've realised how all that's panned out and it's all gone a bit crazy. Because like if Odegaard plays, as he doesn't, because then that means he's going to have to drop Martinelli and Trossard. So I don't know. I don't know. In fact, I do think we need a midfielder. I think we need a bit more. I think we need a bit of muscle, a bit of powerhouse in middle. I think we need someone with height, preferably 6'1", 6'2", and a bit of a powerhouse. I think we do because if Declan Rice gets injured, that could be a bit of a problem. To be honest, I think we need a bit of some muscle in middle. I think we do. Joe's going to go in. Odegaard, Eze both haven't been greatest lately. Surely Ethan should have got a chance. Yeah, you're on bench tonight. I don't get that. I don't. Well, even when years on bench, he's a Marseille player. He's gone. Eze Lamar Joseph. Eze is not his fault because he can't get a fair chance. Yeah, and that was one thing I was annoyed about. I already mentioned it. I wish Eze would have got 90 minutes. He might have come up with some magic, and like ended up scoring. It would have lifted his confidence massively. I think he looked very disappointed, to be honest, and all when he came off. So on that, people, I am going to end on that. Um, Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the chat. Please do smash the likes and subscribe as well if you're watching it later or whatever. Um, yeah, brilliant performance, and we turned up tonight all over the pitch. I won't say all over, but defence was good. We even resting players, and our attack looked hungry for goals and was on it. We showed a lot of intensity, a lot of urgency, and I just wish we'd see it more often. And I'm not saying every freaking game because I'm not an idiot. I know my football. I don't know everything about football, but I have played and I've watched it for years. You can't do that every game and turn up and put 11 out of 10 performance in, but I wish we'd show a lot more intensity and urgency more often. Um, AJ Lamar, the difference is Odegaard is not good enough trading for Elliot Anderson. Yeah, he's going to be hot property. Somehow tell you that now. Joe's going to go in. True, AJ. Everybody, bless up. Thank you very much.